Ready? Let's get.
Scotch, bourbon, and rye, yeah, we on that whiskey. Wanna discuss an array of topics, conversation simply. Gonna drop your whiskey bars with the sip hitting for. Could you pass it, you want more? Another glass, let it flow. A steady pour. Steady pour. Yeah, a steady pour. A steady pour of growing, a steady pour of sharing, a steady pour of knowing. Now pass that Glencairn. So pull up a chair, grab a glass, and enjoy a melanin-infused perspective with a whiskey twist. Yeah, yeah, a steady pour.
A steady pour again. Recording season 10.
Oh.
Yeah, Freddie pour again. Yeah, recording season 10.
Yeah.
Let's go. What it do?
We were just all waiting for it.
Welcome to a Steady Pour podcast. I'm your poor coach, Drew.
Calvin.
Tony, what's up?
Daddy is what it do.
We are your co-hosts. Excited
Yeah.
to start off season 10.
I can't believe 10 seasons,
10.
man.
Double digits.
Bro.
I know.
Bro.
That boggles my mind.
I'm pretty excited to get this going, man. We've been talking a lot in the off season about what we wanted to, things that we wanted to do, things we wanted to change, just try some new things, and so I think season 10 is going to be something where we're going to try out a few things.
I think it's going to be a very experimental season.
We'll see how they.
Hopefully still enjoyable. But
I think we're still
I
enjoyable.
feel like it's going to be
I think so.
enjoyable
Yeah.
for all
no,
parties.
we have some good stuff coming
Yeah.
up for sure.
We have great
Absolutely.
personalities. We'll make it work. We'll figure it out as we go
Yeah,
along.
absolutely.
You know, and the way that it's lined up, right, in terms of the start of the year, in terms of when we're recording, like 2025,
Right.
that, people start thinking about, New Year's resolutions or things you want to do. So we certainly had some podcast goals that we wanted to
Achieve.
and do. So, we're going to be getting there.
We getting it. 10 seasons. We getting it. we made it that far. So that's an accomplishment.
Still
in
working
itself.
on it.
Slow and steady.
We
Slow and
definitely
steady.
growing. We definitely getting better.
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
You
We're
gotta
definitely
acknowledge
running a
that.
marathon, not a sprint.
Right. Yep.
One thing I'm looking forward to is the event that we got, the tasting that we're doing.
Yes.
Ooh, that's coming up.
Yeah, so we said that's something that we want to do more of. So
Yeah.
This makes me nervous, but
Very nervous.
We're going to push through.
I think it's a good thing to be
is.
nervous. Try to spread out a little bit, branch
Right.
out from what we've been doing, So
It should be a fun
Especially
time.
because I want to really lean into building more of a local community
Yeah.
around it.
Yeah.
that is definitely a goal. So
yeah.
but then of course there's a lot been happening in the industry during the off season that we've been just sort of watching on the news and talking in the chats that we're in, talking to folks. The whiskey is experiencing a bit of a little bit of a downturn, well, if you will, like
Really?
or
Yeah.
Well, I would say it was like the bourbon boom is what they were calling it.
Right, yeah,
Now it's
it's
sort
true.
of like
It has bursts, and I think it's starting to re-stabilize. I guess is the best way to
That's a
find
good way to put it.
new-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not necessarily dropping down to zero, but getting back to
It'll
maybe
never drop down to
right,
zero.
But,
No
but
way.
maybe getting back to where it was pre-pandemic boom, or close to those levels.
Right.
Yeah.
It definitely starting to taper a bit.
Right.
yeah. Some of the things that we heard, Brown Foreman closing down a couple of facilities.
The cooperage.
The cooperage.
Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just speaking to that real quick, I think a lot of people, in the industry here, think prices are getting more reasonable, and like the good side of this, but people are like losing jobs.
Yeah.
like people that
That's the real side
work in
to
the
it.
industry
Yeah.
that thought they were set up long term with the way
Right,
that
because they
whiskey was
figure,
rising.
I'm working
Right.
with a company that's at this scale,
Right.
with more stable,
Yeah. So that to me that's the saddest part, and I've seen some people online, mentioning that, and just like, hey, it's okay to be excited about, the newest releases and things, but don't forget that people are losing jobs right now.
Yeah, according to AP News, it's about, for at least specifically for Brown-Forman, 12%. They're reducing their workforce by about 12%, which equates to about like 648 positions.
Wow.
And that's just Brown-Forman alone.
Right.
Right.
So,
Yeah. MGP had similar layoffs too, I believe.
You said that equates to 640 positions?
48, yeah.
Individuals. Yeah.
Okay.
So you do math.
Honestly,
You do
well,
math.
I thought it was gonna be over 1,000. To be honest with you,
Still
okay.
a lot
All
of
right.
jobs.
that's a
Still
lot
a
of
decent
people.
amount. Is like
Yeah.
It is.
could be worse, but it's still like no.
Right.
it's-
I'm just thinking like. Obviously, every individual you feel for, right?
100%.
All the jobs lost you feel for, but I was just thinking on a much larger scale.
Well,
So
the Cooperage alone, it says here, was about 210 employees.
And that's completely shut down now, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's...
right, and again, that's just one facility.
Right.
That's not even talking industry wide.
Right,
So
right.
it's definitely in the thousands
Yeah,
industry
for sure.
wide.
And probably more to come, too. This is a trend that's going to continue.
But I also think I think there's gonna be a lot of jobs that's gonna be more of a shift than there is straight loss. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna lose at this company, but I think other things are gonna
Hopefully.
Open up.
advance
Yeah,
along.
yeah.
I'm thinking and hoping.
Right.
I'm thinking that you're gonna find a little more of the middle guys kind of starting to get a little bit, take a little bit bigger slices of the overall pie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just I think there will be a shift in that also.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could.
Hopefully.
I mean, I think the bigger distilleries are always. I mean, they was prepared for this.
Right.
I mean, probably.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like they knew exactly what they were going to do when a situation like this arises. Right.
Yeah.
I guess it's the smaller craft distilleries that
Yeah.
are really trying. I would say is trying to find their way through. But at the same time, they're also smaller, more flexible, so they could be a bit more nimble.
Right. They could pivot. They could
yeah.
do more vodkas. They could do more gins if they really needed to. If they're a distillery, if they're a whiskey producer, then it's a little different. But again, you have some room.
Right. And I feel like in terms of just the business model in general with whiskey, right, there's a lot of patience involved. Unless, of course, you're going into the blending, right, where you're a distiller and you're buying the barrels that you need in that particular product that you're trying to offer, as opposed to, distilling, putting it away, waiting.
Going
X
through
number
the
of-
entire process.
Right. So that's part of it. But besides that, I mean, there's the economy piece of it in terms of tariffs, right? Taxes in terms of out of the country tariffs and how that's affecting the industry.
Right.
And then the other
Especially if we import some of the grains, some of that stuff could be.
And the other thing is health trends. Like a lot of people have been on health kicks in terms of you're trying to either drink less alcohol, do non-alcoholic alternatives, which we certainly experienced in dry January. I mean, quite honestly,
We all did it. We all did it.
I mean, there wasn't much out there that I enjoyed from a non-alcoholic alternative.
Right. And I am still, I will die on this hill. It's just juice. A non-alcoholic cocktail is called juice.
Bro,
I'm just saying.
It's just juice.
I'm just saying.
I mean, you gotta mix. You gotta add some different things in there.
Do you?
It's a fancier version of juice. I guess.
How?
It's
We're not gonna have this
got my
argument.
orange bitters.
Nikia's gonna come through that screen and kick your butt. No. This is her whole
She can
game.
enjoy all the juice she wants.
I'm trying to talk it up, man. You gotta mix it up.
Whiskey flavored juice.
But it's not.
It's not whiskey flavored,
I
though.
can't.
But
The cocktail we made wasn't bad.
it was just
Right?
juice.
It was good.
It was just juice.
It was. I was
But that's
surprised
my
how good that
point.
was.
I'm not speaking to quality. I'm not speaking to taste and whether or not I
Right.
enjoyed it. All I'm speaking to is
I
the
get
fact it is just juice. It's juice.
It's not a
I
cocktail.
don't know why. I mean, it is a
But it's
cocktail. But that equates to juice.
So-
is all I'm saying.
So when we were shopping or trying to figure out what non-alcoholic alternative to do for that live, came across this non-alcoholic sangria, this peach sangria, and I was like, oh, my wife's probably gonna like this. So I grabbed it, and sure enough, she did. She was like, yeah. So now she wants me to go back and find some more of it. So I happened to be in a liquor store, and I'm asking the person, like, do you have some non-alcoholic sangria? And he's looking at me crazy, like,
Why are you here?
Why do you like that?
Leave my store at once.
Fruit juice?
Technically, that's just like peach drink. Like,
Why you not shop right, bro? go to Whole Foods.
Right.
so yeah,
All
no,
I'm saying.
I totally get like, but the look on his face, like, because I asked the person working there, but then they asked the manager. Right?
They got
the
the manager
manager's face
involved.
was just like, what?
Why'd you call me for this?
Am I
I
being
hope they
punked?
hit you with the. I hope they hit you with the loudspeaker. Like,
Yeah, I looked at him like, it's not for me. It's not for me.
Real quick pivot.
that would not help.
Like, it's not for you.
That makes it worse.
You shouldn't be here, sir.
But what do you have in the back?
Right.
Since I'm already here.
But yeah, so there's the health trend too that's coming out of it, and just in general, where there was that report about
Cancer. Linked.
Increased alcohol consumption is linked to your ability to get cancer or some types of cancer. I guess they were listing the different types that are out there.
Yeah.
So
because I have not read this report. The question that I would have is, what do they specifically mean quantity-wise?
Right.
By what
what are the
verbiage
numbers?
did you use?
I think
You
that was
used a
undefined,
specific-
which is where.
Yeah, I feel like that's been out for a while, though.
Only because they've also noticed that if you have like a drink a week or something like that, your life expectancy goes up, not
Right.
down.
Well, did you see the surgeon? The Surgeon General wanted to change the warning labels, right? Was
Yeah,
that part of
that's
it?
related to that.
He was also wanting to change the warning label, saying that when you
Could
lead
lead
to
to
cancer.
Could cause, yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to know what
Like
the
it reached that point where there's enough evidence to suggest that we should probably be putting this on.
Yeah. We need some more hard data, I think, on that. But I think we might do an episode later this season that goes into that a little bit more, more into the health.
Right. So
Health
like
trend.
right here, right? Well, the bottle that I'm looking at right here, where we're used to seeing government warning, according to the Surgeon General, women should not drink alcohol beverages at the risk of pregnancy, right?
Right.
So they're probably talking about adding on the it's
Cancer
also
risk.
could cause cancer.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's what they're looking to do.
It's interesting.
I got
So,
so many questions.
that
That's
leads-
definitely going to be something we're
Yeah,
going to
we'll delve
dive
more into
into.
it.
Yeah, for sure. And so that's all been happening on the off season. And we were like, you know what? We're recording for season 10. But we're gonna jump right into it, and so we could think of none other than a bottle that Cal came across.
Thank you,
A
Cal.
rare character that I didn't pick up? Wow.
Right.
My
Look,
God.
we were in shock.
No, because y'all say that I'm like the rare character guy.
I mean, you
This
still,
and
you
that.
still
you
are.
not? You're right.
No, look, I don't have this bottle right here.
I
This
think
is
yes,
you.
doesn't mean
one out of
that you're not-
100.
I'm passing that moniker on to you, Cal.
Yeah, right.
And
Sure.
Tony made sure this was episode 1.
Right. I made sure.
You wrote out the schedule.
It's true. No, I'm excited to try it, though. I mean, I think we all were impressed with the bourbon.
Well,
Batch 1. Actually, batch 1 and batch 2.
That's true.
Right. And
Plus-
they were both
plus-
delicious, but I actually preferred one.
plus I think we're pretty much rye guys now.
We're right,
Yeah.
guys.
Right, guys.
He was a rye guy from the
I
start.
started the trend.
We've been converted.
Everybody just
So,
follows suit.
All right. All right.
I mean,
Relax.
sometimes you gotta be a leader of these. I'm just
Yeah.
nah, it's all love. It's all love.
But, yeah, no, excited to get into this, man. Do we have some details on it? I think we have.
You know, he don't get no details. He just be like,
it's a marriage of
I'm not
their,
used to them bringing details.
you
on
know,
a
it's
rare
really
character
funny.
bottle
If you read all of the bottles, it basically just says a different, fancier version of. This is pretty nice. You should try it.
We threw some stuff together. Some good barrels.
Right.
It's always a marriage or something.
Right.
You know,
It's-
of the greatest rides.
I'm looking here on the review of my guy Nick Anderson amongst the whiskey. So he said it's a blend of straight rye whiskeys, which it also says on the label there. But he says it's an undisclosed rye mash bill between Kentucky and Indiana, 117.9 proof, and it's a blend of 7 to 8 year barrels.
Okay.
So
That's some nice details.
yeah.
I mean, you know.
We'll take it.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. First of all, I'm sorry for talking over that pop. Is pretty nice.
You got to warn somebody.
Can you isolate that audio?
I might be able to.
Okay.
All right, so we got it poured up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh man. Okay. Cal, since this is your bottle, you have the honors of giving us your.
Appreciate it. I'm
Nose.
gonna go.
What you getting on the nose?
I'm getting some orange. I'm trying to bypass the typical, you know what I mean? But I'm definitely getting like a sweetness, like a sugar, like a vanilla. I want I want to say like an orange creme brulee. How it has that toast on top, but like just the top of that.
I think I like that. Okay.
Very nice.
What about you, Darius? What you getting on the aroma?
I would agree. It's not really the typical rye aroma that I was expecting. But I do get the citrus. I get very sweet. I get a little bit of honey, I think, for me, mixed with that orange citrus. But definitely not what I was expecting from a rye. But I like it, though. It is a very, not too overbearing, so it's not like too strong on the aroma, but it's like it's just there. And it's nice. I'm ready to taste it.
Yeah. For me on the nose, it's like a toasted citrus, like spice. Also, yeah, I want to say that there's some type of like baked good as well. I'm getting, but perhaps like a baked good with a citrusy like marmalade or something on top. Yeah.
Okay. Like a piece of toast.
I can see that now. Yeah. What about you, Tone?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with a lot of what everybody has said. Definitely the citrus note. Also getting kind of like it's almost like an orange tea, like a citrus tea herbal note that I'm getting there as well. Maybe like an orange spice tea, because you are getting some of the baking spice notes in there too.
Correct.
With the orange, but the herbal note is standing out really strong to me on this. Nice nose.
Yeah, I can see that.
Lipton's on the nose.
Yeah,
All right.
kind of. I mean,
Herbal.
I almost would regret going first because I'm getting a lot of that bread too.
ready.
Yeah, like, that's probably the rye, as opposed to the spice. I'm getting more of like rye bread as opposed to that spicy note.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, you already
to sip it?
You already.
All right, yeah, I can go first. This is it kind of followed through on the taste as well. And I'm getting that citrus for sure. That citrus is there, and then it's all rye after that. It's a citrusy rye, and
Yeah.
I mean the spice I think really kicked in initially. On initial like where it covered the palate, it was like all spice.
100%.
What about you, Tone?
Yeah, I mean, like we were all saying, it didn't really nose like a typical rye, but it tastes like you getting hit with that rye right away. I'm still getting the same kind of citrusy herbal notes, but then the spices just kick in, man. Like a lot of like clove, kind of cinnamon, allspice, just kind of a assortment of spices that kind of linger around that citrus note, and I mean it's very lingering feeling on the palate for me. This is really nice.
What about you, Darius?
Oh yeah.
You're
Man,
the most
I'm
rye
resident
lost.
You can
It's
see
just
it in
hitting
my face, man. I'm just letting it marinate. The moment it hit the palate, I was like, yeah, that's what I was looking for. It's a very nice mouthful. That rye spice comes in strong, and it lingers, like Tony was just saying, through the finish. Like I'm still tasting it right now. Like that is rye through and through, with a little bit of hint of the citrus still there, but not overbearing, where it takes control of the rye flavors, where it's just. It hits home like this. I want some more of this right now. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for you.
No, but we're friends now. We're buddies. Not when it comes to that rye.
I think we got some sample bottles around here somewhere.
right?
Oh, I heard we do.
You need something to put your water in?
Many samples I've given this man. My goodness.
This is nice though.
This is really
This
nice.
is good.
What about you?
I am still I'm getting similar notes that I got on the nose on the palate. What I didn't get before is that you're saying like a herbal tea. I was not getting that really on the nose. I got the orange part of it. I didn't really get the tea part of it. On the palate, I'm getting a lot of that tea part. A lot of those herbal kind of earthy notes that you kind of associate with tea. I'm getting that.
Okay.
Drinking it, definitely getting a lot more to rye. It's still not at the typical spiciness that I'm kind of used to with rye, but the flavor is there without the spice. Does that make sense? Yeah. It is pretty tasty.
So let's go.
You can evil eye hold me what? You should have took your time with that.
I could.
Now you really want a second pour and you beat.
I'm sure Cal will get
Go ahead.
He's a nice guy.
It's all good.
I'll save it for my sample bottle.
That's what I was gonna say. I want a sample. I don't
Wow.
want any more pours.
Tony, how much of a pour are you giving
You gonna make me go first?
Rye Batch 1?
Man.
On the spot.
It's a 4 at least. I'm debating between that and a 4.25. I'm going to go 4.25.
I like it.
I think that this is a rye that all kind of whiskey drinkers can get behind, right? It's a bourbon drinker's rye. It has some of those notes, but it doesn't shy away from its rye notes either. I think there's a little bit of something in there for a lot of different type of drinkers. So, I don't really get that the herbal tea kind of vibe off of a lot of ryes that I can remember. This strong, that kind of like stays with you throughout the experience. So, yeah, it's definitely unique. I could see why they pulled this blend aside and kind of, how they, Chad over at Rare Character kind of came up with this. I'm excited to see what they do in further batches, but this is a really good,
Iteration.
Yeah, iteration of some of the best ryes that they do. A really good blend. We'll say that.
Okay. I'll go next. I'm gonna give it 3.75.
Okay.
For me, it's good. I did enjoy it, but not as much as I've probably enjoyed other ryes. And that's this is when it's like subjective in the sense of what I like. I think I like it when there's a little bit more sweetness to it. And citrus ones are sometimes hit or miss for me. Sometimes I feel like the citrus can just overpower, I guess normally what I like to get on the palate. But I do like the finish, and the nose was really good. So, I do 3.75. I'm not mad at it, but
Gotcha.
close to that 4. Darius.
I'm probably more in Tone's ballpark, where I have to go at least a 4. I mean, the way I was enjoying it. So I'm definitely gonna go 4.25. Just what like Don just said. It's definitely unique. It's a very unique on the aroma. The rye came more through on the palate than it did on the aroma. But I definitely have had more flavorful ryes, I would say, that I would put a little bit higher than that. But for what it is, I would go back to it, and it may change. It could go up, but for right now, I think it's good at that 4.25 ballpark for me.
Nice.
Calvin.
I'm gonna go with a solid flat 4.
Nice.
I'm definitely gonna.
You know you want another bite.
I know. I'm really
want a
mad. I definitely should have bought 2 bottles when I had the opportunity. But yeah, I kind of.
Stumbled upon it.
Yeah, like real stumble. Because somebody who hit me up who just kind of knows they're not really a bottle hunter like that.
Yeah.
They really sent me a picture and went, "Should I get this bottle?" I'm like, absolutely, yes. How much is he asking for it?
The way you made it sound was like
Yes.
you weren't even sure at first he was really looking at the right thing. Like, are you really looking at the?
Well,
Because
yeah,
it could be a different rye.
because he doesn't. Because he's not really like he likes
Yeah.
specifically ryes, but he's not like in the
Right.
the game.
He's
so
not
to speak.
fanatics
He's
like
right.
we are.
He's not searching for anything. He
Right.
doesn't really know. Like he's got a couple of things that he goes to regularly, and that's about it. And then I like, oh, try this, try this, try this. So the fact that he was the one to go, the guy at the liquor store is giving me a good deal. He said I should buy it. What do you think? And I'm like,
Yeah.
yes. And ask him if he'll give you 2.
Right.
Because I want one.
Yeah. No, it's good.
And then before I tasted it, because it's the first time that I've tasted it,
Yeah.
he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go back and see if they have another one, because he really enjoyed it.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, there you have it.
Yes, sir.
Bear Character Limited Release Rye Batch 1. Steady Pour reviewed.
matter of fact, no one brought this up because it's quite easy to sip on. It's 117.
Oh yeah.
It's 117.9. It's 118.
Yeah.
That's
I would say that the proof is there.
I think more so towards the finish. For
Yeah.
sure. 'Cause
Yeah.
It does linger.
It lingers.
It's there.
you think it's 118? It tastes 118.
I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. It's 118 off of how it tastes.
I can't necessarily say that I am shocked. That wouldn't be accurate. What I am is, I forgot
Yeah.
that it was 118.
Yeah.
Like, and then when I remembered, it made me go, "Oh, this does not drink at all."
Right.
At
It's
all.
Easy, it is easy
I can
to
see
drink.
that. I can see that for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
No, that's true.
I was just enjoying it. I wasn't even thinking about what the food was.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
It was just nice.
And I think sometimes we get kind of bogged down because we tend to drink a lot of high proof
Yeah.
stuff that
Yes.
you forget about that part.
Right.
It's an important part.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely glossed over that with this one.
Right.
We just went right. We were so happy. We were ready to taste
I mean,
it.
I didn't forget it was 117.
I wasn't thinking about it.
I mean, I'm not gonna say it drank past it, but
You felt the
think it was
proof.
it
around
was
there?
within like
It was hitting you. It was
3 to
hugging
5 proof points. I would say like okay,
Yeah.
but yeah. But like I said, I like the finish. So that's really what kind of stuck out to me, I guess, in terms of it falling in line with the proof.
Gotcha.
But yeah, man, this is dope.
This is good.
And I wonder.
Sorry, just real quick. Were you gonna move on to something else or?
No, I was
Oh,
gonna,
okay.
yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna shout out some new artwork.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you talking?
No, I didn't want to interrupt it.
I don't give a
No,
fuck.
no, you're good. You're good.
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
just wanted to shout out some new artwork that we got from for our guy Mike Montgomery.
Yes.
Mike,
Everybody
Hey.
saw about the wildfires in Southern California last month.
Yeah.
And we know that a lot of people were affected, and then finding out that Mike Montgomery and his family lost their house.
Right.
That's our guy, man. He's been our guy for a long time, and I felt horrible about that.
Right.
And I saw that Meeting Minutes Rob on Instagram was an artist. He draws a lot of different things within the whiskey community, and he drew a Blue Run bottle with Unity on it, and gave the proceeds to Mike's daughter, whose birthday was coming up. So I thought that was super dope.
That is pretty dope.
And kind of hidden back there, but behind some of the bottles. But
Right.
but we wanted to put it up, and just kind of have it as some artwork for this year and going forward. So
Definitely.
shout out to Mike and his family, man.
Shout out to Mike. Thinking of you guys.
Absolutely.
So yeah. So with that said, I wonder what else we got in store for season 10.
Good stuff.
What we gonna review? Who we gonna interview?
Some decent whiskey coming up, I think.
Yeah.
Got some good. some decent, just a little something.
A few things.
A little something we've been holding on to.
A little heat, as OJ would say.
A little fire.
Well, thank you for rocking with us.
Yes,
We'll see you next episode of Steady Pour Podcast. Deuces.
Peace. Love y'all.
Well, that concludes this episode of a Steady Pour Podcast. Make sure you follow on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Yeah.